Donald Trump targets his enemies. I mean, not the people who catch him cheating at golf, but their time is coming. This is just another day. Friday morning in August. Most people spend their time basking in the last few weeks of summer, but Donald Trump prefers to spend his morning checking in on some old employees.
We learned just moments ago, according to a source, that the FBI conducted a court-authorized search at the home of John Bolton as part of a national security investigation. John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, former national security advisor under the first Trump administration, a frequent critic of late of President Trump.
Okay, but just because you're a critic of someone, that doesn't mean they're going to do whatever they can to get you in trouble with the law. I mean, I've said Charlie Kirk's mouth looks less like a body part that chews food and more like a conveyor belt at the Bubble Yum factory, but these are just words. True words, but words nonetheless. Isn't this all a bit of a leap?
This is a person that Donald Trump has been very much on the outs with since he wrote a book about his service in the first Trump administration when John Bolton was the national security advisor to President Donald Trump. At that time, Trump was very unhappy that Bolton was talking about things that Trump did that made Trump look very bad. And Trump at that time, back in 2020, was saying that John Bolton should face criminal problems for allegedly publishing classified information.
Fine, but can you really connect the dots between a president saying he wants to seek revenge and then getting back in office only to see his FBI do the exact thing he said he wanted? Okay, yeah, I can see how it's pretty easy to connect those dots. I mean, even John Bolton kind of saw this coming a few weeks ago.
You're obviously on his enemies list, at least Kash Patel's enemies list. Are you worried that they're going to come after you in some way? I mean, he's hinted at it before.
Well, I think he's already come after me and several others in withdrawing the protection that we had for from the Iranians for the attack on Qasem Soleimani. So I think, and I said in the new forward to the paperback edition of my book, I think it is a retribution presidency.
Wow, that is really nuts to see. A former national security advisor going on record to say that a sitting president, his former boss, is seeking retribution and doing it while squeezing in a plug for his book. Look, Trump isn't playing games. This is a national reckoning, which also happens to be the name of my new board game, John Bolton's National Reckoning. Does your family enjoy a night of debating which policies can bring about harmful transformative change to our country as much as the Bolton family does? Well then, this is the game for you. It's got everything: adventure, strategy, and the game pieces are even different colored versions of my extremely outdated mustache. John Bolton's National Reckoning. Buy it wherever Trump's tariffs haven't yet taken effect. But the big question now is, did Donald Trump, our totally hands-off commander-in-chief, even know about this raid before it happened?
I tell Pam and I tell the group, I don't want to know about it. Just, you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer. But I feel that it's better this way.
You know Trump, he's a chill guy like that. Do the raid on my enemies, don't do the raid on my enemies, release the full Epstein's files, don't release them, vote for my legislation, don't vote for it. Whatever people want to do is more than fine with me. This guy is the ultimate laissez-faire president because his North Star, above all else, is to always stand by his motto, don't do anything that could give the impression your actions were politically motivated.
I purposely don't want to really get involved in it. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. I thought he was a sleazebag, actually. And he suffers major Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, I guess everybody slips up every now and always. This morning's raid on Bolton's house was just another example of Donald Trump weaponizing the government to settle scores with his enemies. And later, in the Oval Office, Trump made it abundantly clear that he's just getting started.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. We're going to help with. And I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they are, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here. Because half of them got mugged, and they don't want to get mugged again. But they work for stupid people that are radical left. and they're made to do things and say things that they don't want to be saying.
See, Trump gets it. All these people standing for hours in the sweltering heat of Washington to protest the authoritarian takeover of their city really just can't get up the guts to say thank you. And sure, a reporter could ask why the cities of Los Angeles, D.C., Chicago, and New York just so happen to be Trump's top choices for crime cleanup when Memphis, Cleveland, Toledo, and Little Rock are ranked as more dangerous, but that question isn't getting asked because the White House is trying to keep the reporters who would ask things like that out of the room. When outlets like the New York Times, Washington Post, and the Associated Press are being denigrated, marginalized, and replaced by Cara Castronova of Lindell TV, Brian Glenn of Real America's Voice, and Benny Johnson of I Got Duped by RussianPropagandist.com, holding elected officials to account falls by the wayside. But maybe I'm being too harsh. Just because Trump is attacking his critics, going after cities led by Democratic governors, and silencing any form of dissenting media might not mean he wants to be an autocrat, but I think he might have a crush on one.
And I was just sent a picture from somebody that wants to be there very badly. He's been very respectful of me and of our country, but not so respectful of others. But I'm going to sign this for him, but I was sent one, and I thought you'd all like to see it. That's a man named Vladimir Putin, who I believe will be coming, depending on what happens. He may be coming and he may not, depending on what happens. We have a lot of things happening over the next couple of weeks. But I thought it was a nice picture of him.
Ugh, we get it. Why don't you go hang it up in your locker and then write his name over and over in your notebook during homeroom? But when it comes to Trump's takeover of D.C., the good news is it won't last forever. Trump can only control the D.C. police for 30 days under the Home Rule Act, and after that, he'll need congressional approval. So it looks like this guy's grip on power will soon come to an end.
Well, I don't know if there is a deadline, because if I declare a national emergency, which this was, that ends the deadline. So, I mean, I keep seeing about a 30-day deadline, of which we have 22 days left or something. But if I think we're in great shape here, that's one thing. But if I don't, I'm going to just say it's a national emergency. And if I have a national emergency, I can keep the troops there as long as I want.
Do you see the ease with which he says that? I haven't seen someone so quick to call a national emergency since Matt Gaetz found out he was banned from attending high school cheerleading competitions. But here's the thing about Trump. He understands the tools at his disposal. And as much as I hate to say it, Democrats could learn something from him. For too long, Democrats have gone to Washington believing that if they respect our laws and institutions, their political foes would inevitably do the same. But that is clearly not the case. Donald Trump knows that he is not there in service of rules and institutions. He is there to enact his agenda, vile and dangerous though it may be. Well, and also to leverage the office so he can enrich himself and his family through overseas real estate deals, shadowy crypto dinners, and by selling bargain basement products marked up to seem like exquisite luxury goods, but mostly to enact his agenda. Trump and the Republican Party have shown that they see rules, regulations, the separation of powers, and even the U.S. Constitution as a whole as just a series of pain-in-the-ass hoops and hurdles they have to jump through and over to get what they want. And their willingness to do whatever it takes to maintain their grip on power should be a wake-up call to Democrats across the country that the game has changed. Sure, it might be unsettling, a little uncomfortable, your stomach might feel like you just joined RFK for a quick dip in the bacteria bayou, but that discomfort is a small price to pay when defending democracy. Donald Trump isn't even a year into his second term, and he's already militarized our streets, sought retribution on his enemies, sidled up to dictators, silenced members of the media, audited our museums, strong-armed governors to gerrymander their maps, and set the wheels in motion to discredit election results if the outcome isn't to his liking. Bit by bit, this guy is trying to normalize all of these authoritarian tactics, and it is at the Democratic Party's peril to simply sit back and complain that Trump and the Republican Party are breaking the rules. They know they're breaking the rules. They love breaking the rules. So Democrats have to start breaking some rules too. And if the Republicans pull out the fainting couch and cry foul, well, just tell them,
You have to do what you have to do.
Exactly. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.